What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Heavyweight Nation podcast. Today, we have a very special guest for you. We have McGee, Arizona State All-American. Welcome to the podcast.
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
Of course,
Of
man.
course. Of course, obviously, a very impressive, your best performance you've had, throughout your entire career so far this year out at NCAAs. Congratulations to you and congratulations to that whole Sun Devil team. I know you guys were able to bring home 4 All-Americans. I'm sure your team and your coaching staff has to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, for sure, man. We it was a really good tournament for us, man. We had brought 5 guys with 4 All-Americans, and that's what the year prior to that we brought 7 guys and had 5 All-Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So we know every time we go to NCAAs, we got some firepower. And we had a bunch of veterans go.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Marco, um, Colton, BC. We've all been there before, so it was just a good tournament for us for sure.
Definitely. And obviously, we'll touch about, obviously your incredible college career so far. But first we got to throw it back. We got to talk a little bit about high school and where it all kind of began. So, obviously you wrestled at Illinois, which we've been
Yeah.
seeing a ton of Illinois talent, in nationals lately. I think, we had a little interview with Pat Glory. We posted a clip on Instagram about the best wrestling states Glory kind of named off, and Illinois wasn't included. And a lot of people in the comments were very angry.
Yeah, man. I feel like we take our wrestling serious in Illinois, man. We love wrestling, but I'm definitely biased for sure. I'm gonna say Illinois because that's my home state. So
Yeah. So you end up being a 2-time state champ in Illinois. And obviously you had also one time you were a runner-up. So kind of just tell us a little bit where your career started, kind of what age and who got you involved in wrestling.
I've been wrestling since I was like 7, 8 years old. I wrestled for Force Wrestling, which was in Plainfield. And yeah, I wrestled for Force since I was in like 3rd grade up until 8th grade. And I went to Plainfield East. And yeah, I was really little my freshman year. I was like 96 pounds, wrestling 106. And my sophomore year, I was kind of more so, I kind of filled out 106 a little bit more. And that was like the first year I kind of really had some success like in high school. But growing up, I had some success growing up. I was a 2-time champion IKWF. And that was like leading up into high school, but I was just little when I came in high school. But yeah, 2-time champ. Yeah, I was the first state champ in my school's like history. So that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. That's got to be awesome to kind of, see the walls of your wrestling room fill up as you progress in high school, be able to see yourself, your name on that wall. So that's got to be pretty exciting to you. And,
Yeah.
After a pretty successful college career, you end up getting that Division I offer and you end up at Old Dominion University in Virginia. Um,
Yeah.
we're not going to touch super deep on that. Some things go on there. What was that move like for you though? After obviously you hit the portal and you end up at Arizona State. So what was that kind of that change of lifestyle going all from Illinois all the way out to Virginia, now from Virginia all the way out to Arizona?
It was cool, but it was kind of difficult only because this was like all kind of happening during COVID. So what was it? The first week of March was when they canceled NCAA's, I'm pretty sure, and I was redshirting, but um they told us to go home. I want to say the week after. A few weeks later, they cut the program, and then after that, it was kind of like, we're trying to navigate through this pandemic at the same time. I'm trying to find a new school, and it was like I couldn't take any visits anywhere, which that was the weirdest part about it because it was kind of just like you don't, you have to make a decision. You almost had to make a decision without being able to really see things yourself. So it was kind of that part was interesting, but um yeah, man. Once I kind of got in touch with Arizona State, it was not too much longer after I kind of just knew. Um, I kind of wanted to go here. I feel like I had to make a decision fairly quickly. So,
Yeah, that was actually one of our fan questions. We'll kind of throw that in now, real quick. We usually keep that, towards the end. But one of our fan questions was, what was your time like while you were in the portal? What was that like? What was your kind of re-recruiting process like? Obviously, because you had already gone through it once, being a two-time state champ. What was it kind of like the second time around?
the second time around was crazy, man. I feel like I was on the phone for like 3 weeks straight. Like it was kind of just a lot. But it was interesting to say the least. I don't think I was. I was in the portal for maybe less than a month before I kind of decided. I jumped in there kind of knowing I wanted to pull the trigger soon because it was kind of just late in the year, and yeah, it was just I was trying to get it over with for real.
Yeah, and obviously, it's kind of sad to see what happened with that Old Dominion program. But obviously, move on to greener pastures, and you find yourself, with a great loaded lineup at that time, at Arizona State, and still to this day, a loaded Arizona State lineup with great coaching staff. So, talking a little bit more about your college career. I'm going to pass it over to Matthew. He has some questions for you about your college career so far.
Yeah, you being a three-time All-American, third, fourth, and sixth. I mean, how does that feel to know like you're at the top of the top? You're the elite.
It feels good, man. I'm not sure how many three-time All-Americans there are like in general, but it's not, you know, being an All-American once is a difficult thing to do. So to be a three-time All-American is just something I'm definitely super proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were the Pac-12 champ two times, and you were the MAC champ two times. So, is there a
Yeah.
difference there? Like, how would you say they compare?
Um, no, I wouldn't say there's like too much of a difference. The Pac-12 Pac conference is just I feel like really small, but other than that, there's not that much of a difference.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, we also have a other fan questions here for you. Like everyone wants to know that that knee drop series. How'd you develop that?
So it kind of wasn't really something that I feel like I wrestled on my knee kind of here and there, like when I would wrestle. But when I came to Arizona State, my first year, I ended up, I think it was like January of what was it, like 2020, 2021. And I had a high ankle sprain and basically I couldn't really push off of like my ankle as well as I wanted to. And I like knew that off of my knee, I had some attacks. So I feel like from there, I kind of just, um, like it kind of came from my ankle being hurt and me trying to figure out more ways to get to my offense, like without having to be on my feet and having to push off. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And just developing that over time, I'm sure
Yeah.
everyone loves it. Everyone wants to know how it is, and there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and just touching on, I mean, what a college career you've had. I mean, 135 and 27, you know, four-time conference champ through two different conferences. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of people that could say that either, that they're a four-time conference champ, 2-2, split in different conferences either.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
My
you could just tell the sheer brotherhood that you guys have at Arizona State. I mean, anybody who watches, kind of the pre-match warm-up and they see these crazy handshakes that you guys have with each other, kind of talk a little bit about what that brotherhood's like with guys like Brandon Courtney and Kyle Parko and, having those guys as your teammates. What's that kind of like for you?
man, it's honestly really dope, man. These guys like it really is a sheer brotherhood, man. So it's kind of like like just us passing on good energy to one another. Like we really go through this like the 6 month season, man. It's a long grind, man, and to kind of be um kind of bonded through that and kind of just through strength. I feel like it kind of brings us together and like we're in the wrestling room together hours and hours in the weight room, hours each day. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like something we kind of just develop and just being together all the time. But But yeah, man, when Brandon gets off the mat, he's handing good energy off to me. When I get off the mat, I'm trying to hand good energy off to Jesse, and just all over, man. I feel like that's kind of just what we're about, man. Just sticking together and just having good energy, bro.
Yeah. I think we really need to see a crazy handshake with Colton Schultz. We need him like do some kind
You
of
know,
crazy thing, lift you off your feet, like something crazy like that.
that's actually crazy, man. Me and Colton did have a handshake, and I'm kind of sad we didn't really do it much, but it was something like that, man. It was pretty crazy. I wish it was kind of like smooth and we did it more often, but
Yeah, it's we need if there's ever another opportunity, we need to see like an actually like filmed because I was gonna say it was never ever caught on camera. You and Colton doing some kind of crazy handshake, or him and Courtney, something
um,
crazy with like throwing you guys up in the air, catching you on his shoulder, something cool like that.
like yes, dude. Me and Colton had some Blades of Glory type
Yeah.
handshake. Oh yeah, man.
I mean, I mean, obviously, talking a little bit about him as well, that has to be incredible for you guys to have, just one of the most dominant heavyweights, in the world. I mean, he's an incredible Greco level athlete as well. And, having him, obviously this year wasn't, his best performance, but everyone has an off year. Obviously, being a runner up in the country, what's that like having, somebody, a staple of a heavyweight at your school?
It's awesome, man. Especially just being in duels, like when the duel comes down to heavyweight, we're always like, well, we feel good about it, going against anyone. So, but Colton, man, he's a great dude. It's kind of awesome to kind of have him in there, and he's a world class Greco man. I try to pick his brains from time to time for real, because he really knows a lot about a lot, man. He has a great wrestling mind, so it's just cool to have him in the room, and just he has like just great energy to be around all the time.
Yeah. And I feel like that's awesome to hear. Obviously, having a staple heavyweight like that is key to having, a really great team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
So obviously going to a school like Arizona State, what's the weather like? I mean, I bet you're probably happy you wrestle indoors. Let me say that. I bet you're pretty happy. So,
Yeah,
coming from Illinois, what was that weather change like to you, coming to the Arizona summers?
honestly, it was great. Uh, I think the weather in general, but the summers, man, the summers get so hot. Like when I first got here, I'm pretty sure it was like 115 degrees for like a week straight. So it was just like, to me, it's just not a normal thing to be like, all right, we're just gonna stay inside all day until like 8 o'clock to when it cools down to 100 degrees at night. I was not used to that type of heat, but once you kind of it's not like that all summer. It just can get really bad, but I just enjoy the fact that I really don't have to shovel any more snow, and just all year round over the winter it's pretty nice as well. So I'm definitely loving that.
So
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the plan now? Obviously, what's the plan for you coming up? Do you have another year of eligibility?
Nah, man,
No,
I'm done.
you're done. So what's the
Yeah,
plan now? What's the plan now for McGee? What's the next step?
gotta get into some freestyle, man, for
You think
sure.
some freestyle? You don't want to get in the fight game? Is the fight game on your mind?
I mean, possibly not trying to rush into it, but if so, I would kind of just have to ease my way into it and kind of just learn some grappling, some striking, and kind of just, that's not something I'm worried about jumping into right away. I definitely want to hop on the freestyle circuit and kind of really focus on that for a few years and kind of just see how far we can get as far as freestyle, and then from there we'll kind of, but until then I might dibble and dabble in some fighting until then, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
get a little bit of everything going. Definitely. You're gonna enjoy your time now, being done with that, getting fat and happy, of course.
100%, man.
yeah.
100%.
What was the weight cut like for you? What are you losing about per week to stay on? Are you somebody that walks around at your weight?
No, um, over the summer, if I'm like just eating and just like not being cool about it, I probably I could get kind of big, but that's not really big for me. Is like I normally walk around at like 41, 42, but like during the season when I kind of bring my baseline weight down, um, I don't really have to cut more than like 5, 6 pounds a week. It's like,
Not too bad at all.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I'm sure
it's
like an average college or average practice, you're probably what losing about 3 pounds.
yeah, I could lose 4 or 5 in a practice, just kind of depending on how long we go, how hard I go. It kind of you just know your body, especially at the end of your 6 year.
Yeah, definitely. I know Arizona has some good food over there. So around your school, what's the spot to go to?
Spot to go to, man. That's crazy. I would say Taco Boys. Taco Boys is my spot, man. They know me by name in there. It's
You
crazy.
come in, they know your
It's
order
crazy.
already, man.
Basically, man. Yeah. Taco Boys for me. I like my
So we had a fan ask, what are your plans after you graduate? And fun fact, the actual Arizona Sun Devils wrestling page decided to chime in on that question and responded that you wanted to try competitive baking.
Hey, wait, hold on. You up a little bit.
Oh, are we good?
Wait. So you got to run the.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little there. Hold on.
Oh no
I'll
way.
ask the question.
Wait, are we good? Am I good? Am I good or no?
And after you graduate, and the Sun Devil wrestling team came back and said, "I heard he wants to try competitive baking."
Hey, man. Not above it. I love food. I love cooking as well, man. So I'm not above it. Competitive baking. Let me find out. There's some competitive baking leagues around here, man. We'll see.
That's something you want to get into, huh?
I'm not above it, man. Who
So you like
knows?
to cook in the during the season too, like get all your meals in.
Yeah, I feel like Um, not all my meals, definitely not. I eat out here and there, and on top of that, it's kind of like um, I don't know. There's also other meals that we have access to as athletes on the like at ASU, so it kind of is like a mixture of things. But during the season, sometimes I feel like a lot of times, especially during the end of the season, I kind of just feel like I don't have much energy to just
Yeah,
cook for hours and hours, just stand over a stove. So I feel like out of season, I definitely cook more.
I got you there. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely makes sense.
One of the
Yeah.
fans wants to know what sort of strength and conditioning do you do to be so damn fast?
I don't really do like on my own time. I really just jump rope. Um, that's with and without ankle weights. I kind of just do like a variation. It's like about 20 minutes. But other than that, I don't really do anything like any other special lifting aside from the lifting that we do at school. Um, but yeah, I jump rope a decent amount. I don't really run toward the end of my career. I didn't um but yeah, that's it's my little cheat code, I guess. Jumping the rope, man. Let's keep moving.
So during the season, I'm sure you're very busy, but walk us through a day in the life of Mikhail McGee.
Um, wake up, lift or do some type of morning workout, and then after that, go shower, probably go to class, do some homework. Um, and then after that, go grab a bite to eat, and then go to practice. After practice, come home. I'll either go grab some dinner or make dinner. Then after that, do some homework, chill out, might play some 2K. And yeah, yeah, it's pretty monotonous lifestyle. There's not many wrenches in that game. It's consistent. So
Yeah. Well, Mikhail, we got one more fan question for you before we hop in to some, a little bit non wrestling related stuff.
yeah.
In your match with Roman, you hit a switch to put the first 2 points on the board. Where did you kind of develop that switch from, and how did you know that that move was going to work in that situation?
I feel like the switch kind of developed. Um, and I don't even know if I were to say it's like a switch more so than it would be like a changeover.
Mhm.
Um, but I kind of developed this like tripod series when I was at Old Dominion, and it's kind of one of those things where now like if someone's chopping me and I'm kind of leaning into it, I can kind of feel how heavy they are, and like I'll be able to kind of feel how I could um either change over or hit that switch depending on how heavy they're clinging on that side, you know? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Feeling that's definitely a huge part of wrestling, having that wrestling feel, that mad sense.
yeah.
Yeah. And one question recently we've been asking all of our guests, that we've got some really cool and some really crazy answers to through your entire career. From youth all the way up, now till you're, finished your career. Favorite wrestling shoe you've ever worn?
Wow. I might say, wow, that's a great question. That's a really loaded question, especially for someone who loves like
Now, are you somebody
favorite.
that has like some cool custom stuff
Okay,
too?
now let's okay, when you say like favorite, you mean like how it looked or just the overall like how oh dude, that's so
Just the
tough because
best. The best wrestling shoe you've ever worn.
I'm gonna say might be gold Rulons. I'm a Rulon guy, so I'm gonna say gold Rulons.
Not the first time we've heard that, yeah.
Yeah. Like the first Rulon fan we've had.
Yeah.
Oh, now you
Yeah,
touched
I
on
used to be one of those guys on Flickr, man.
yeah, not the flicker, man. Oh no. I remember people like when I was
Yes,
wrestling,
I
like
was one of
going
them.
crazy trying to find like all the really old, like the tigers and all that stuff on Flickr.
Mm-hmm. It's that
Yeah.
serious, man. I used to be crazy.
Now you touched a little bit about you playing 2K. Now, is that something that you do with the boys, or is that something that you like to do on your own time? And kind of what's the 2K games like between you and the boys?
Um, that kind of was like there was a point in time this season where I was on 2K heavy. Sometimes you just gotta lock in, man. It's like it's not something we do like a lot as a team. I'm pretty sure we have maybe like once or twice at one of my mate's house, but 2K is something that I'm gonna do like when I have like ultra time to waste. It's not more like one of those things where like I'm like an ultra gamer. I kind of just if I have a lot of free time, I'll be like, you know what? I could catch some ankles right now.
What's the go-to team?
Chicago.
No, you don't roll with the Suns?
Chicago. I mean, now I might have to because now they got KD, so they got a squad, and it's like I'm already out here, so I could do Suns too. Actually, even before they got KD, I was rocking with the Suns a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of have to if you're over there, huh? You're a little biased,
I have to, man, for real.
Sticking on the topic of favorites, who's your favorite all-time wrestler? If you had to pick one.
JB.
JB, the GOAT.
Yeah, yeah.
Undeniable, definitely. And another one. Who's your favorite practice partner you've ever had?
Oh, don't make me do that, Tom.
Yeah, put
Oh,
him
we're
on the
making you
spot.
do it.
Put him
You
on the
gotta
spot.
you gotta call somebody out, and somebody's probably gonna be a little mad at you
Uh,
after this one.
but it's
You
gonna
can.
be.
I'll let you segment it, like through high school, middle school. You could pick a couple.
Oh man. All right. Well, look. Number one, I'm gonna probably have to go Brandon Courtney. Kid is nice. And honestly, man, oh man, don't make me put them in order.
I won't make you put them in order. You can go college, you can go high
Hey,
school, it's up to
let's
you.
say Courtney. I gotta say Klebov, Cardinelli. Oh, who else? Man, yeah, you know what? Let me just. It's a lot I could list. We're just gonna go with them three right now.
All right, good answer, good
Some
answer.
people might send you a little bit of an angry DM after that one, but it's all right.
I'm not. Yeah, I know.
So obviously, through your whole career, you've wrestled, I'm sure, at a ton of events, a ton of places. What has been your favorite place you have competed at?
Favorite. Sheesh, that's tough. Um, I would say, dang, each national tournament is different, but I feel like that's my favorite tournament to compete in because there's so many people.
Which
But as
which
far as
uh
duels, one place I actually like
which tournament that you've wrestled that has been your favorite? Like just the event,
with
just like where
tournament.
it's been held at.
Um, Probably maybe St. Louis. I don't know. Maybe St. Louis
All right, all
was
right.
a that was a nice NCAA. Yeah, we'll go with St. Louis.
Man, we know you've wrestled. I mean, everyone pretty much, all the toughest guys in the world. Who would you say is your toughest opponent you've had?
Toughest like ever. Sheesh, this is tough. Uh, oof. You know what? I don't want to admit it, but I might have to admit it right now.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I want to say either DeSanto or Vito, because DeSanto just wrestles so hard. He just
Yeah.
wrestles super hard. You know, you're just in for a hard, hard
Your
wrestling
your
match.
neck might hurt a little bit the next morning.
It's going to hurt for sure. There's no question about it. And I would say Vito because he's just so his style is just like really unique, you know, and it's just like 0 to 300 miles an hour, just like explosive, and he's gonna go until he finish, you know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a tie. 'Cause that's I don't wrestled a lot of people, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, with an amazing career you've had, you know, those two guys, if that's your hardest competition, man, you did pretty well for yourself. You
Yeah,
definitely did pretty well for yourself.
yeah, man.
So I think we're, gonna try to close it out here. We have one final question for you, which might also upset some more of your teammates. Um, you could take three of your teammates with you into the zombie apocalypse. Who would they be, and why would you choose them?
Cole Schultz for sure because um I just might need somebody to grab a zombie and break them in half or throw them on their head. You know, I just am gonna need someone a lot bigger than me that just, you know, he'll make me feel safe. Point, point blank, period. And then
Yep.
we'll who else? I'm gonna say I need Ja'Cory Teamer too. You know, just because I feel like he would be scared and but we would both be scared. But we'll be able to kind of like get out the jam real quick and really handle ourselves. You know, I'm gonna pick Ja'Cory for sure. Then the last one, dang, you definitely finna have my teammates looking at me sideways like,
Giving you hella
oh,
side eye after this one.
um, jeez, I might say Vasquez.
Jesse.
Yeah, go Jesse V.
All
Yeah,
right. It's a good lineup, man.
That's a good lineup. It's a really good lineup.
Team too, right there, man, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I always say one day we're gonna have to like go through and like look through everybody's teams, but like it's not really fair because we've had Kenny Monday on and he just picked 3 of the people from the Olympic year when he won gold. So I don't think that really matches up too fair compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
So
Dang. Yeah.
so
Dang.
obviously Mikhail, thank you very much. And congratulations from all of us here at Heavyweight Nation, on just an amazing career. And no
Thank you.
matter what you do, we hope the best. If you become a competitive baker or if you become, the next UFC champ, we hope that we get an opportunity to talk again sometime. And best of luck to you on the world scene. Let's hope you make a world team this season.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you guys for having me so much.
Of course.
Do what you guys do, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. That's been another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. Good night, guys.